live in a two-story house with my sister. It's a mother-daughter style home, meaning there are two separate living spaces and two kitchens. She lives downstairs, and I live upstairs. My sister is rarely home because she usually stays with her boyfriend, who lives about 20 miles away. Before we continue, please subscribe. I'm 30 years old, and I know being home alone shouldn't scare me, but sometimes it still does. One night, I was alone upstairs, watching a scary movie in the dark. My part of the house has an open layout. The living room, dining area, and kitchen are all one large space. The couch sits in the middle, which means my back faces a huge dark area behind me. Not exactly the best setup for watching horror movies alone. As the movie played, the only light in the room came from the TV. I kept glancing over my shoulder, trying to convince myself I was being ridiculous. After the movie ended, I brushed my teeth, turned off all the lights, and went to bed. About 2 hours later, around 1 o'clock a.m. I woke up.
At first, I didn't know why until I heard a voice downstairs. It sounded exactly like my sister. She wasn't yelling from outside or knocking. It sounded like she was already inside the house, calling my name. Still half asleep and confused, I assumed she was arguing with her boyfriend or trying to get my attention. I got out of bed, turned on the hallway light, and walked toward the stairs. I heard her voice again, clearer this time, saying my name. I went downstairs in the dark, calling back. "What is it?" I couldn't find the foyer light switch. I was groggy and disoriented. I walked down the hallway toward her kitchen and flipped the switch. The light slowly came on. No one was there. Not my sister. Not her boyfriend. I checked her bedroom. Empty. I yelled her name loudly. No response. Then, suddenly, I heard something fall to the floor inside her bedroom, the same room I had just checked. That was enough. I ran back upstairs like a scared kid, locked myself in my room, and called her multiple times. She didn't answer. Eventually, I fell asleep, telling myself I must have imagined everything. In the morning, I woke up to a text from my sister asking why I called her at 1 o'clock a.m. I asked her if she had come home the night before. She said no. She had been at her boyfriend's place all night. When I went downstairs to check her room again, there was nothing on the floor. Nothing that could have made that noise. I want to believe I hallucinated it, but I've never hallucinated before. And I heard her voice too clearly for it to feel unreal. That wasn't the first time something terrifying happened when I was home alone. When I was 14, my mom worked overnight shifts as a nurse. One weekend night, a girl I was talking to came over to watch movies. She left after about 10 minutes because her parents didn't want her out late. Shortly after she left, I heard a chair scraping across the deck outside my bedroom window. I looked out and saw someone sitting there. I called her name, thinking it was her, but the person looked up, and it wasn't her. I didn't recognize him at all.
I hid, terrified, watching him stare up at my window. He didn't move. When I finally asked what he wanted, his shoulders began shaking like he was laughing, silent at first, then wheezing. I begged him to leave. Instead, he tried to get into the house. He pushed on the back door, then the front door. If our doors hadn't been locked, I don't think I'd be alive today. Years later, another night alone almost ended the same way. I was a teenager, home alone for an entire week while my parents were on a trip. One night, I was on the back deck when I heard a man's voice coming from the woods. "Hey, over here." At first, I thought it was kids messing around. Then he said, "We need help." The voice got closer. I backed away and locked myself inside. Moments later, I heard splashing near the pool and then violent banging on my window. He laughed when I threatened to call the police. Eventually, he left. And the worst one of all, at 23, I saw a woman standing in my upstairs window while I was playing basketball outside. She vanished when I went inside. That night, I heard something under my bed. She crawled out.
I fought her until my neighbor came running in and helped restrain her. The police arrested her. She had been hiding in my house the entire day. I don't know why these things keep happening to me. All I know is this: being alone doesn't mean you're safe. And sometimes, you're not actually alone at all. Please subscribe to my channel.